Hey guys, Trevor Hal here. Welcome to another episode of the Who Are We podcast. Today I've got a special guest from Uganda, Reverend Godfrey. How you going, Reverend?
Yes, my brother Trevor, thank you so much for accepting me to have a conversation with you and tell you, maybe share details of what I am doing and whom I am.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us. But just before we get started, just do the disclosure. We're going to be recording this session and uploading it to YouTube and onto the podcast channel and hopefully get some awareness going on with what you're up to and also get some people, considering who they are. So that's the whole purpose of all this, is just spread a bit of a cheer and have a bit of a conversation, and we'll go from there. So I'll get straight into it. So who is Reverend Godfrey?
Well, my name is Reverend Godfrey and I come from Uganda, and I'm leading some different projects here in the communities where many people have got a lot of problems, vulnerabilities affecting them. For instance, I lead community health empowerment ministry, which uses holistic approach. And in this approach, we look at the physical and health of the people in the communities and their families. On the physical part, we encourage many of the group members to participate in agriculture and skilling, because these are major key aspects which can easily support their livelihood. Like, I have been able to support some community members in providing knitting and tailoring machines, where I feel we should be able to start and establish a big school of skilling, where each community member should have a share and a benefit, because once you give a skill, you have given, you have provided a potential for economic growth. Secondly, in community health empowerment, I make groups, and in these groups, they pull some money every week. Each individual, each person contributes little amount of money, and when they have put it on the table, they buy a goat to one person, of one member of the group 1 week, and next week they come to another person until the number of people has received. So when a project of goat is covered, we go to cows. Each member must get a cow, because every member contributes to the purchase of a cow at every sitting, every month. Majorly, that is what we are doing, and I have been able to help these members develop partnerships with some government officials who help me in providing seeds like beans, improved beans, and sometimes there is when they supplied me with some maize, seeds of maize, and they helped in boosting agriculture and food production. But this is little. We need to now look on a large scale production. So I would like now to tell you that we need support and funding so that we are able to provide enough seeds and also provide some funding for establishing demonstration farms. And also, as I told you, we establish a big institution concerning Community Health Empowerment Institute for skilling. Thank you so much, my brother.
So it sounds like just paraphrasing you a bit. You're getting into a bit of a holistic approach to helping people out and getting them involved in things. So the saying that we got here in Australia, and I'm not sure if it's the same in Uganda, there is you can give a guy a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach him to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. So it sounds like, to me, that's what you're doing. By giving people skills, you're teaching them how how to survive in the long term. You're not just looking for charity all the time. You're giving them skills and that so they can eat forever. It sounds like.
Yes.
And the other thing I got from them. So the skills are, I picked up agriculture is probably a big part of what you were talking about, but also knitting. I suppose the women are knitting over there, are they, or some of the guys as well, or what's is it mainly the guys doing the agriculture and women doing the knitting, or how does it work over there at the moment?
Well, Knitting and Tailoring Institute, which we propose to establish in case we get funds, is going to will be accommodating all people.
Yes.
Youth, the youth will also participate, women and young men, and especially it would facilitate young people so that the generation that is here today have got skills that will help them to improve on their daily income generating activities.
Yeah. And that's great, because focusing on the youth, I suppose, that's the next generation, isn't it? So that's where the time needs to be spent to try and help out the generational gaps that exist.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I picked up is there's the members of your ministry or people that participate in these programs, they're all throwing in what they can or a bit each week or whatever, and eventually they all end up owning a cow. Is that what you said?
Well, I have formed around 30 groups of people. Each group has got 30 members.
Okay, yep.
And every week, every sitting they come with some little money, like 3,000 or 5,000 or 10,000.
Yep.
So that this little money is pulled together. And when they were beginning, when I meet them, I give them an opportunity to identify the best project they would like to engage in. Then they identify. So when they identify it, we can now write some small papers. We put number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 up to 30. And we put some numbers on those papers, then we put them down. We ask members to come and pick. So when one has picked and one gets number 1, that is the person who will get first.
That's amazing. And where does all this come from? Because obviously you got to look after yourself and your family and everything as well. And giving back to the community is a big challenge, even in the Western world, here in Australia, and that's always hard to give when you got to look after yourself. How did you end up in a position to be able to do all this? Where does all that come from? Or the motivation to help people? Does it come from somewhere specific, or have you got a story behind that?
Well, me as a person, I have got a lot of innovations and inventions and skills because I suffered when I was young. I was a bit.
Thanks, guys.